I do have something. When I first started and I decided to toss my name into the ring to run for county commissioner, and I was voted in my opinion, I was voted in to represent the citizens and act in their best interest, and I will do that. However, I will not violate my oath of office, and nor will I violate any kind of my personal integrity. I'm here to make what I feel are the right choices, or what my constituents make or believe are the right choices. I'm not going to make choices that are going to make me get reelected. That is the furthest thing from my mind. About, we'll call it 6 months ago, I asked for increased communication in the form of emails, and I was denied those emails, and I was told you need to ask questions. Because I just wanted to know what other commissioners were involved in. And I was told, no, you need to ask questions. So in response to that, I filled out a Freedom of Information Act request. And there were some things in those emails that, let me say that I will not violate my oath of office. Citizens have brought to my attention past actions or alleged actions or non-action of the commission, alleging secret meetings, unethical decisions. And again, I took an oath and I fully intend to follow that oath. And following our, shall we call it, discussion Friday and emails, I have no choice but to give merit to those concerns. And my actions to protect a county employee Friday from feeling like he was being strong-armed into I guess unethical decisions. I will do those actions again in a second to protect any county employee. I do not regret them. And it was unacceptable. And I'm ashamed that it had to come to that. That's all I have to say.
Whoa, wait a minute, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Henry.
I don't think you can leave it at that, Steve. I mean, you faced a whole bunch of accusations at all of us for having secret meetings. What's going on? Hell, I haven't had any secret meetings.
What I said was citizens had talked to me. I said they alleged secret meetings.
Well, let's hear it.
I'm just telling you that's what they alleged. I didn't say that there were secret meetings.
So you're going to go off on us based on an alleged deal?
No.
Come on, Steve.
What I'm saying is they had alleged those. What occurred on Friday was we, in budget session, agreed to change over to Johnson Controls on the Townsend Justice Center. Okay? About, we'll call it August. Okay? I shouldn't say we, Will was approached by Commissioner Lawson that, and I can't remember the guy's, I think it's Dusty, the guy from Long Technologies said that we need to stop that, and that Long Technologies could save the county thousands of dollars if we just stayed with Long Technologies. Now keep in mind, we all voted for that. What should have occurred was it should have been brought up in a work session and said, here's what it is, let's address this. But instead, there was direction given, whatever, and this goes on for a little while. In about beginning of September, I'm approached by Will because he feels that his job is in jeopardy if he doesn't do this. And so I told him, well, talk to somebody, send an email, do what you need to do. And so he contacted Dusty, said, look, no, we've already taken significant steps to do this transition to Johnson Controls. We're not going to do it. And this continues, and it continues, and it continues. So finally I told Will, let's just have the meeting in 1st of December or whenever. Let's have this meeting in a work session. Okay? We were supposed to have the meeting in a work session. Next thing I know, it's another meeting between Commissioner Chadwick and Chairman Chadwick and Commissioner Lawson. And he tells me, am I going to lose my job? And I said, I haven't heard anything about that, so I don't know. So that's when I went in Friday and said, this is over. We're staying with Johnson Controls. The fact that you guys wait 5 months and you still haven't brought it up to the board, that's an issue. We're staying with Johnson Controls. And the last thing I hear is that, well, you need to send this letter. So he does that. And it comes back to Will again. How about we just send this letter from the chairman? How about it was brought to the chairman's attention and, you know what, we're going to stick with this. So since you want all the details and you want to do this in a public meeting right now, so in these emails, and I haven't got through all of them yet, but these are in Forrest emails, and that's about as far as I've gotten so far. I'm approximately, maybe halfway. And keep in mind, this could have been avoided just by you guys sending an email saying, hey.
Well, I keep wondering why they didn't bring it up in a public meeting in our work session and say, hey, we really ought to have him come in. I didn't ever hear you say that.
Well, that one I was waiting for Will to address it because he said, well, I don't want you to bring it up because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job.
Well,
he said he was trying to take care of it.
Then that puts you in the middle.
It does.
Well, you should bring it up at a work session down here, and maybe not the public session, but you should bring that up at a work session and
but
say,
he's scared to death that he's going to lose his job. So I'm honoring my county employees' wishes.
In the meantime, it keeps festering away on you and him. And it sounds to me like we need to talk about it.
Absolutely. We need more communication. I would love to have more communication.
But
absolutely.
If something like this happens in a work session, bring it up.
Can I continue though?
Yeah.
You asked a question. I want to continue and answer. So in these emails, there is also talk about how the county is, this has been brought up, this was an email that was sent to Forrest, which was followed up by a conversation, which I didn't think much at the time, between John and, Commissioner Lawson and Chairman Chadwick, and I was in the office with them. And I just kind of secondhand, I was listening, I was kind of thinking, this this seems questionable about the legality of this decision, but, well, maybe it would work, but here's the, I guess, how it works, or how this is supposed to work. So, whoever owns this property in the enterprise zone, okay? The enterprise zone, whoever owns the property, sells it to the county for pennies on the dollar, okay? So the county buys this property. We then go to SLIB, okay? And the SLIB board grants us money because it's, you know, state law says you can't give public money to private entities to. So we go to SLIB, we get the money to improve the infrastructure, and then we then go back to the person that owns the money, or owns the land initially. We have then developed that land, and they get to keep all that money, except for the money that we initially paid for that land. So that pennies on the dollar, we get reimbursed for that. They get to keep all the extras.
You're talking about the railroad out there at the...
No, this is the enterprise zone, to develop the enterprise zone. You know, a little upside down triangle.
Whereabouts?
The enterprise zone, the entire enterprise zone. This isn't an idea to develop the enterprise zone, okay?
Everything from the airport to bar none.
I guess. I'm just saying this is an email that was in Board's emails. So we would buy this land for pennies on the dollar. We approach SLIB. SLIB grants us this money. Okay, you following?
No.
We've not bought any ground.
I'm not saying we bought. This is the plan. This is a plan. Okay? This was brought to your attention.
The only piece of ground out there that we
Okay.
do own a piece out there that we got through
Okay.
taxes.
This,
By taxes.
okay, you're missing the entire idea.
Acre piece.
This is a plan. This is an idea. Okay, so it hasn't come to fruition yet. This is simply an idea.
So it's all hypothetical.
There you go. So the idea is to do this, which tells me that it is basically, this is just ideas on how we can economically develop the county, okay? The other idea is, see, when the rec board came into existence, a additional mill levy was done, and that mill levy was passed without going to the public. So there is also an idea floated out there that, hey, maybe we could pass an additional mill levy in which we could use that to develop the enterprise zone, using that without, but do that same thing, pass that without going through the voters. So yeah,
Can you do that?
they did it with the rec board, so.
How did the rec board come into existence, Matt? You're on the rec board.
Yeah, it was. I'm not
I can't
exactly
remember.
I think you can through the legislature, but you'd have to get the legislature on board.
How does a rec board, do you remember? Man, it was in existence when I got here. I don't remember.
Me too.
Drew's gone.
Yeah, it was established before I got here.
The only piece of land that I can think of that you might be referring to is the land that, again, we were the sponsoring agency for the infrastructure out there, the water, the sewer, the fiber optic line. And we did get that SLIB grant, but as a part of those grants, we get what's known as a recapture. The recapture on that particular project.
Okay, are you back to the initial one that I was talking about?
That's the
or
crude
are you
This
talking
is the
about?
crude to rail. This is in the This is the only
Are you-
piece that we've got anything going on within the enterprise zone.
Okay.
So this is
Again, I'm talking about
20
a
acres
hypothetical.
that they are turning over to the Economic Development Joint Powers Board. And that's part of how we got that grant to do all that work.
Okay, and the other allegation, as far as secret meeting, I was contacted by one of the members of the press about a secret meeting that occurred after our meeting last week, or 2 weeks ago, that occurred between you three. After Matt and I had left there, they said, you guys remained up here for over an hour. Apparently, there was a press member that was in the building. So there you go.
Well, after the
And I'll leave
meeting,
it at that.
we can talk to,
I'm just telling you,
now, Steve, now wait a minute.
that's just where the allegations
This
came from.
afternoon, okay, I got another allegation for you then.
Okay.
This afternoon, the three of us stayed in the meeting room and you
Sure.
left.
Yes, I did.
Well, so is that a
Secret meeting?
Secret
No,
meeting?
I'm just telling
That's the
you.
allegation.
That's the allegation, it's the same thing.
Well, I don't know if it was, I'm just saying that you guys made,
The doors, if the doors are open, if the
I don't
doors
know
are
if the doors
open
are
in
open
this
or not.
place,
I don't know.
and we're in our public meeting room, it's not a secret meeting.
I don't know about that, so.
Well, then.
I
tell-
wasn't here.
Well, tell
And I will
whoever
tell them.
the allegation was.
I wasn't
that-
worried about that one, but I'm just telling you about the employee, and I know for a fact about those emails, because I read them myself.
Well, maybe we
So-
not have him come in, let's talk about it. I don't know.
But the employee, yeah, I'm very concerned, and I am gonna stick up for an employee every time.
And the concern that Long raised was that we had in our budget allocated $110,000. And they're saying that the problem can be fixed for 20. We felt like, or I felt like, that was an issue that Will needed to address. Now, in the most recent email, it looks like we may have to get involved in this. Our direction to Will was, Will, this is yours. We don't micromanage.
Mhm.
If you need our involvement, just ask. If you need us to get involved, say so.
So that's up to the employee to come into a work session, and we're not gonna deny that employee to come into a work session. I mean, when I was chairman of this outfit, I'd never deny an employee to come into a work session and talk it over
No.
with all of us there. So if he's got a problem, he needs to come in.
But we are talking about $90,000 of the county's money. So do we need to look at it?
Absolutely.
Will need to look at it? But first, it comes within his purview.
So when did those numbers come out? I've never heard those numbers.
Well,
Never seen those numbers.
sounds to me like the chairman and the vice chairman, you can't go into Will's office with three guys. Because
Right.
that's behind closed doors, you gotta
Right.
do it too.
Yep.
And so the chairman and vice chairman handle the affairs of the commission between meetings.
And
Sounds to me.
sure, and once again, lack of communication on behalf of the chairman and the vice chairman, because they do not keep us apprised of the goings-on of the county, just like earlier tonight in our work session. And what do I ask, Rob?
When-
I don't even
down
know
in-
what
no,
they're working on.
Down
Rob.
in the work session, ask.
I don't even know what exactly.
Well,
I
ask
don't
them
know
what's
what to
going
ask.
on.
So
In a
let
work
me,
session.
What's going
let
on?
me, here's,
When did when
Um,
did that deal happen?
as an example, Chairman Chadwick and Mike are working to fix that stuff right there. That would have been nice to know. We all get an email with pictures, nice pictures.
And you could
That
have,
would have been nice to know. I mean,
had you shown up at the meeting, you would have known that you were invited to. It was, everybody was invited. I can't hold your hand on that stuff. The invite went to everybody.
Okay. All right.
If you
We're good.
have some concerns, down at the
I've got a
work
lot of
session,
concerns.
Well,
We're good.
at the work session, bring them up.
Yep.
Steve, I mean, you're part of this commission just like the rest of us.
Yep.
And so at that work session, bring them up and
We're good.
if you've got some concern about it.
And Mr. Chairman, may I just say one thing? There's been a lot of different opinions with county attorneys, whether or not you commissioners can meet, have more than 2 commissioners at one time during the day, just to discuss your emails, what's going on, what concerns are in the county. You have a certain amount of day-to-day business that you have to discuss. You just can't close the doors and you can't make decisions. These are the times that you're going to decide, this needs to be on a work session. We need to call in so-and-so. But you have every right to have more than 2 people at any time. You got to train new commissioners. You got to go through that. I mean, it's not just up to the board of, or WCCA to do the training in new commissioners. Each one who's already been there has that obligation to the next guys to help train them and tell them what's going on and help them. So, I think that Bill Knight was a great one for saying never have 3, more than 2 people. But you're not making decisions. You're not having, if you don't have a secret meeting and you don't make a decision, and I'm hoping that you don't, because I'm right next door. All you have to do is tell me that you guys want a meeting and you want to go up, if 4 of you want to go meet with Will during the day and decide at that time, call me. I can be there. Take a tape recorder. She can go in my behalf. She's deputized to act on my behalf in a meeting. So, yeah, I think things are getting a little bit, people are feeling left out, and I don't think they should.
Well, yeah, Steve, if you're feeling uncomfortable about it, don't let it fester until it just kind of boils over. Come down and at our work session, we're all 5 of us right there. Today we had 45 minutes or more. Bring it up,
Okay.
please.
I will.
Because you're part of this outfit, and I truly believe that the chairman and vice chairman, they pretty well run things between meetings. But you've got your meetings that you go to, I do.
Okay.
But you bring it up, please.
Yep, I will.
Okay.